all those earlier issues if they find the W here. MIBR putting the credits on the line, and again we'll see that A main aggression a little lighter this time with 3. Nade going deep.
Good nade.
It's going to force them back, and Aspas a little closer than they might expect. He's got his refract. He can fall right back, so he goes in for the pick. Finding nothing, and will concede at least a bit of that A main control. I imagine though here you're just going to leave Zekin based on the current positions around Rubble and have those rotations now, especially that Tex has spotted players outside C.
The early decision from the attack was just play more of a death ball, but I had the wall covering for any push-up. And it does seem like MIBR are almost having to figure out where they're going. Prowler has gone through on B. You kept the aggression outside A. There was a jump spot onto C. Like, because they're playing so far back towards the spawn, it's making it troublesome. Clearing some of those early angles. Now, bear in mind, Zekin doesn't have a whole lot of support, but if he can hit a shot and get out of there, he's done his job, and that's exactly what he does. It's
the same approach as the pistol round. They're going to go late towards A main, hoping that that presence has been relinquished. They brawl for it, losing a player already, and then send by for the late lurk through B. They might even try to crunch B, but the problem is MIBR are so aware of this. They're not going to fall for the same trick twice, but with Mazzino down, now they're under pressure. Aspas no longer a surprise in the corner, but he's ready for buy. Catches him, finds another, and at least gives MIBR a chance in the 3v2. The plant, 10 seconds, it needs to be found soon, and they can flood back in. They can deny this, but instead taking their time, closing the walls in slowly. As all gamers have no real space to play with. They know heaven's clear, but they want a battle. They want to brawl early, and it will be towards Zekin, where one falls. The flood out washes the rest of the defense away. That's going to be all gamers losing out.
Now, sure, the names are on the other side. And well, an early fake plant, but that fake hasn't really done too much. It's been spotted. It has pulled 3 players over, but again, they can get back. Verno under serious pressure, though, and now the response being attempted. It's not been connected by one, but it has been found by Mazzino.
Yeah, Mazzino was a bit too quick, got ahead of the rocket. But a kill's kill, that's all that matters. Angier, oh, he's going to be taken out by Aspas, an angle he checked just moments ago. Nightfall goes through and a player up close, isolated, caught off guard, you would think, but GRQ somehow gets away with that kill. The spam taking him low and Aspas taking him out. Leaves a 3v2. Still a chance for all gamers here. Kira, the unknown quantity, the later play through mid.
Bring them down.
No nade left to play with. Oh, that's tough. Shrimps being caught by the seas. Out of the round and damage done. Looks good for all gamers. Aspas and Tex holding on for dear life by a thread, but they've made it through. It's the second round for MIBR. Well, we have certainly seen the patience from all gamers. A lot of these attack rounds have started like this. Full default in play. By this time covering the vice wall for that A aggression, making sure there's no early flank. That's a risky blast pack, but a lot of information garnered, but a player lost. Tex gets out. Aspas, of course, is no trouble. Being able to dash right back to the site, and for their trouble, all gamers get an orb, but they're a man down, and Shrimp down as well. It's a player who's really helping to clear these angles and get you into sites. Gotta go a bit more blind now.
Yeah, I feel like he still has been, though, the guy that's been picked off quite often earlier in the rounds. Like, they have been using the Prowlers, but he's currently 1-6 and having a bit of a rough time. And some of their earlier matches, he was incredible. He was by far their best player. But that does also mean, as said, from the 4v5s, all gamers have done a good job at recovery. Into the site they go. Again, the trip is there, but it's been spotted. They haven't broken it, though. They didn't break it. The boom ball went through, but it goes straight back online. That gave Tex a freebie, and now Aspas is the defender of the site.
Okay, well, that was a confusing moment for me. But as I'm sure that last round was for all gamers, giving away the pick and giving Tex the opportunity, and it seems like MIBR capitalizing on every chance they're given. A 5 versus 3 right off rip. We said it's been these slower rounds from all gamers, but this was an attempt to change pace, to challenge for that A main that MIBR have been throwing utility at early, at least trying to manage, that all gamers have been leaving the vice wall outside and conceding the space, fighting late for. This time they go aggressive, and it does not work out, at least to start. They've got themselves A main, whoop-dee-dee, but I think the orb's about the biggest reward they've got.
The 2 for 1, well, 2 for 1 orb trade. Not the greatest deal on Earth.
Still been taking it.
Again, they've ground to a halt. This double duelist 1-2 punch is one of the most terrifying on earth, especially facing into a high-low. You'd bet your house on one of them to hit it. And that's exactly what they've done. For Shrimp, well, he's alive later into the round. Nice work from Hero. They've got to be careful. They've already lost 1-2 v4 in this game, and I think that's why we saw the pause. A 2v5, and they might have to use their second.
One more for Kieran. It's a showstopper, but with Shrimp down now, and that paranoia perfectly placed. Yeah, his chances go to 0. I love the attempt on the classic buy, but MIBR, they've got that cam to clear.
I do think it's good, though, that now MIBR get the opportunity to set the pace. Like, I think Verno's been having a rough time trying to deal with everything that's been thrown at him from the all-gamer side. But now you get to define where those battles are. Even if you end up walking into a stacked site, at least you have the execution utility. Not bad from Bai already, though, of course, for MIBR. This is a slightly lighter purchase, just a couple of rifles alongside pistols and a Marshall. They can, of course, buy into the next round, but it's mainly those couple of guns you don't want to lose, and so far, it's looking so good. They'll keep everything onto the board, get themselves up to 6, and then maybe even have an upgraded rifle or 2 to go back into this one with.
Indeed, for MIBR, things looking to pick up, but this is the real test coming up now for them. All gamers in with a full buy. Bangir playing the outlaw. Looking at the other side, there's not too many players that he can catch with that one shot, but MIBR are going towards A. There's going to be a nade coming their way. There's going to be a paranoia prep for GRQ. In fact, it's only the boombot to start. Gear's keeping the nade a little bit later. It's a shame. This time we could see it would have probably eaten a bunch of those HP bars. Obviously have a different idea for later on. Still with the C's and nade. Prowler ready to go through. Should grab the information, but
X is almost dead.
Yeah, he's been exploring the C site and he met the outlaw heads up.
Bear in mind, there's an outlaw on either side, but at least for now, the one it will maybe benefit even slightly more is Aspas, because there are 3 players on the other side that will take that as an operator.
I'm out of here.
Again, a slower pace with Bangir just trying to find out information. He gets it, spots multiple players on that side of the map, and now this somewhat ruse that's being sent on A doesn't hold anywhere near as much value. The defense are actually giving nothing. They're just sitting all the way back, similarly to what we saw on the other side. But it's whether or not they can bait the rotations the right way. And looking at a solo defender of GRQ, who's about to get some support, but will it be too little too late?
He can still get out of here. Still with a shrouded step if he needs it. And he may well need it, but he's sticking around. He's looking for the battle, and Aspas has got him! Oh! And Kira! A headshot on that second swing! Bought them all the space to get this plant and a man advantage under their belt as a result. MIBR have just been gifted the upper hand by Aspas.
Yeah, it's the gift you get when you purchase one of the best players to ever touch the game, and that double opener sets them up in aggressive positions. Fangit maybe hopeful to get something here, and now they've spotted the remaining player. It's the 1-2 punch, the bait taken, and Mazzino with an easy frag in the end. Fangit has no choice but to try and run for the hills.
Oh, without a doubt. And I think that there has been a tangible step up from this squad, heating up as the tournament goes on. Aspas, though, comes in to shut one down. Kira, 34 HP. He's lucky to still be alive after a few shots landed. For MIBR, they know there's potentially a weapon to be retrieved in there. I think they still want to hit this C site, but all gamers have battened down the hatches now. I didn't even expect to see Convergence Path put through, but they're committing it. Even on this lighter buy, they saved their credits to fight for the next round, yet somehow they're winning every battle here. A missed shot from Bangir. Do you save here?
I think
for all
so,
gamers?
yeah.
It's not worth even giving them the extra weapons.
You don't want to give an AWP over. You don't want to give another rifle. They'll be able to get some upgrades here and there, but
once again, look towards this C site. GRQ looks to concede that space. He's just immediately playing on the backside. He's already in spawn. After what happened last round, no one wants to be standing on site when Aspas comes barreling in. Because of that, it should be a relatively easy plant.
Yeah, but the one thing that we've been talking about with all gamers is their retakes have been incredible. I like in this scenario, though, that Hex is going to be that dagger in the darkness, the late lurk, but they are currently still watching for it. Even though the plant is coming through on the other side of the map, they're being patient. A nice shot as well off the back of the nade. Forced an awkward position, and there's that patience from Fangir. As said, one of the major dangers, the differences to the B-side takes was having Tex in the background. Zekken, though, again, any shot he fires through those doors seems to be deadly, and Kira is low.
Well, they had the plant, but MIBR tried to spread their roots. All gamers come in. They've trimmed the shrubbery, and a great paranoia into the back. It hasn't got the player up top, though. Verno still able to provide that cover. Now the jump in, caught by Verno as well, and MIBR! They fight their way back into this round, back into this map, 11-11.
Well, 11-11. Stunned through a weaker purchase, but there is a showstopper. I don't know if it's going to be used in this round. No, it's not. Again, another opener. Aspas Fangir in position once again, though, and he gets 3 in the blink of an eye. The majority of that attack force dissipates. And even a TP in behind. There's plenty of weaponry to be found for these defenders. No ultimates to play with. Verno will get his, but its viability in this sort of moment.
Look at the pings.
He's just faked that out. That TP was purely for bait purposes.
They were pinging those rifles. They're saying, let's get them and fight our way back into this one. A buy up in the next for all gamers, but they might have to fight for OT. But with Verno down, maybe not. Tex, the man who's been a problem. Look at his position. Look at the plant. He has to be quick moving to site. They're going to see him very early on. He'll cut off the first head of the Hydra, but plenty more remain. Tex, a chance in the 1 versus 1. Has his cam, but look for the fight and he wins it.
Not yet. And because of that, questions are being asked. 2 ultimates have been used on the A side of the map. It felt like they had the right read, and honestly, about 2 seconds ago they did, but because there was no contact made towards Zekken, he's called for the rotations. 12 seconds to get that plant in. Aspas with an operator in a peculiar spot. Now they look to move. If they drop this spike, that might be the round. I don't know if they've got time to plant it. I don't think they do. All Shrimp has to do is survive, and they've taken it off that alone. 4 attackers will live to tell the tale of a singular kill. The attack side now looking to put the pressure back onto Tex. They suffered at the hands of his trips, and again, you can see how wary they are of running through that utility, but this time there's no kill trip in that spot.
MIBR have everybody in the waterway, ready to come flooding back through. Fangir will be the point of contact, and he'll fall, but who else is here? Who's next to fall? Who's next to challenge? Nobody. As MIBR find out, the plays come in the other direction, and a great TP from GRQ. He's passed the trip very early on, and as they now break it, it might be a bit of false security for Aspas. No, he's clearing it still. He's looking for this player, and he'll find him. GRQ down. Good work by Aspas to still be wary, even though the trip was broken so late, but he will be caught by Bai in the end.
God, they've got to be careful here. AG in the post plant, that was where they were truly deadly. Bai 1 away from an ultimate. Instead, they're going to look to get aggressive. Timing worked out for them, but Mazzino has his teammate covered, and now Kira is all that's left.
Aspas is impressive as ever, but the desk highlighted it. Hunting down Tex was what this was all about, but he proved to be more predator than prey. Dive in from MIBR. They haven't spotted Fangir. And now they have, but it's a little too late. He'll still get 2. And with GRQ adding to the equation, it's MIBR miles behind.
Genuinely. Again, just the decision making. He almost gets another triple kill in a defensive round. And while Tex is thinking so much about how he can get past the wall, he ends up getting peaked. Aspas has been good. Scratch that. He's been great. He's been so good in opening positions, but how much can he truly hope to find with 39 HP and 3 players? A plant? Sure. Even that might be all he gets. The nade puts him down to just 4 HP. He can't afford to take any damage along the way, trying to dodge the boombot, but even finding his opponent's going to be difficult. Nice shot on the first. That's the ultimate, but the spam is enough.
Nothing seen, as now the pace picked up by all gamers, and you expect a very direct hit. Tex is going to have his work cut out for him in holding this first burst of aggression, trying to snipe one out of the air, but he'll be forced to play the retake now.
It's a little bit of damage. Spike to Kira. One away from the showstopper. Could play a part in the late round, but it's spam actually takes down GRQ. That's a man advantage now. Another opening kill for Aspas to add to the ever-growing collection. Already, though, Fang is there again, and even with the fallback, finally has fallen down, but there's that showstopper. And now Tex is all that resides once again, and it's Kira to close. If anything, if you're MIBR, you want those more contacty plays, because the retakes coming out from all gamers have been their best work. Nice shot from Tex, though. He was under serious pressure and manages to get rid of Fangit. He's been the tip of the spear in all of the retakes. Think about it. Using that overdrive, getting in their face while they put the ults through. Him being gone could give them another opportunity.
Well, that's it. We were waiting. What happens when Fangir goes quiet? Well, now a 4v4, and it's all gamers' chance to break back into this. A seize nade thrown down below, a slow at least, to buy some time, and the paranoia does the same. The clock keeps ticking. And now Kira finds the first shrimp with another. Okay, the number's thin, and MIBR are left with just second, standing against the rising tide of all gamers. The tap on the spike, the swing needed. Now it's already half. He'll get the first, but he won't get anything else. All gamers wash MIBR away. 15-13, taking the lead and taking the dub moments later.
And being a thorn in their side rather than trying to figure out what the opponents are doing. And while you mentioned it, it is more of that half bite. 3 rifles in play. One of the pistols already dropped to the deck, and the B side completely under the control of the attack.
Fangir's trying his best to get a pot shot or two off. And indeed, a walk up from Bai is quite aggressive. Being caught by Aspas for free. Of course, when you have those pistols, sometimes you try to take your timings. Try to catch someone by surprise, but that hasn't worked out this time around for all gamers. The 2 rifles that they've got left, a decision, perhaps you could carry them through to the next. And they're at least doing that with one of them. Kira's on the A site, and I don't imagine he's going for the latest flank of all time. But for Fangir, he's been good every time. He wants to make it costly, because look at MIBR's credits. Already in an extremely good spot. Winning this round with all 5 alive is going to make this dangerous. The imbalance is going to be stacked against all gamers. At least they carry that 1 rifle through.
Yeah, and I also want to say I like the compositional switch that came out from MIBR, because obviously you look at it on the other side, it's not looking like more of a mid-press for MIBR. Of course, last time they played this map, it was the attack where they managed an 8-4 versus Leviathan. I believe that was in the qualifier to make it to this event. Where they sent the previous Masters winners packing already. Burno, who has been the best player so far for MIBR, is gone from this round, and not only does that cause the problem of your top fragger going down, but also your smokes, your paranoia. Leaves you with limited utility with this double duelist, and we're right back to contact again, but that contact has a pop flash ready, and the pop flash has blinded a couple, but nobody actually reacts off it.
I think that's going to give the game away. The smoke is delaying slightly, but this looks now like an A hit. The fake goes through towards the B site. That will keep them in position a moment longer, but it thins the herd for MIBR. And towards the A site, 30 seconds left. They still have to get past Bai, who has been a consistent menace for this squad. The snake bite stops the wrap around, and he'll catch the spike on the way across. Now they've got Kira to deal with and the TP from GRQ. 15 seconds to get that plan through, and both will be dealt with. MIBR looked like they were against all odds, but now it's back to even.
Yeah, Kira could have just played the time, but That felt like an attempt to be a hero, maybe not realizing that Tex was still up above, and instead gave them a way back into the round. The duo that was so impactful over on Lotus. But can they drag home around? It's patient from the attack. They're not giving anything. You can even see it. Fangir is expecting a wraparound. Fully looking towards the heavens. And again, the second the dash is sent out, Tex is there to punish. MIBR look to join 100 Thieves and NRG. Maybe even G2 later in the day. It could be 4v4 in terms of Americas versus EMEA. Depending on how these two last games of the groups go. Zekken is already going to spot a couple, but this is a ruse again. This is exactly what we spoke about when it came to Lotus. You have what looks like an all-in play early, even give information to the other side, and then they have this slow walk-up. It's only going to be the one player. It almost makes me question, are they going to go back again? It looks like they are. This is like ruse on ruse on ruse on ruse, and I can't really blame MIBR for being in the wrong place. Yeah, they're going back.
Same as what we saw on Lotus, Tom. All gamers were pulling the threads, using MIBR like puppets.
Yeah, there you go. You see it from Mazino go, okay, they are now on A, but now they have a backstab of their raise and a second one in the form of Shrimp.
Exactly. Normally it's Bai who's left behind to play those roles, but all they have to do here is delay. This is the problem, though. If MIBR do go direct, if they go quickly into the site, those flanks won't matter. The position, at least, of the plant is for Heaven, but Aspas and Tex clean up the site immediately. GRQ trying his best to slow them down. The Heaven position needed from Shrimp, but he will not find anything. Very soon, all gamers are going to have rotations coming their way or a flank underway. It's time to pick up the pace.
Oh, a tight low angle that's not been cleared. Tex is the snake in the grass, a chance to do so much damage first and the second as well. This gives Aspas an opportunity. Bear in mind those light shields, and that's where the Spectre is all the more deadly. He's landed his shots and left it all onto Bai, and they don't have to peek. They can just wait for him to go for a plant. There's only 15 seconds. He doesn't have much on the clock to play with. He's being flanked as well. There's still a flash available, and he desperately needs someone to fight him. And when they do, Mazino wins the fight at range.
For the time being, at least, Tex waiting with two players on the other side. They're invading the smoke. They're looking for this fight, and they found him. That's a huge pick from Bai, but Aspas being in position, deadly as ever. The blade's drawn, but he's put to bed. Trades for now. Keep it workable for all gamers. They'll even get the plant, and that all being dropped, it might be the mistake that cost them the round.
Leaves it on to GRQ. It's safe to say he's had his moments throughout this tournament so far, but this one might be enough to cling to life. He spots out the first. That's the easiest one done, but the wraparound already coming through closer than maybe expected, and the blast back is good enough to just completely discombobulate.
Like Aspas showing up in these moments when they're needed the most, they have delivered. Even when they're not needed the most, they've delivered. An Ascent may have to be where that bounce back happens, but let's see. Momentum can only carry you so far. A start for Mazino as they look to shut this one down, and it seems like mission complete. Shrimp, last man alive, and well, he'll make it deeper into the spawn at least, but what do we do from here? Surrounded in every sense of the word, no lane open to him. A minute on the clock, and if he wins this, I believe in the 6 rounds in a row. I believe in the comeback.
He's cornered. And they are not letting him out of the corner, more importantly. Even the lower HP Aspas is now being healed up as well. It's not like you're saving that heal for a rainy day. He is going to bypass his way towards the side, but instead he has to face Mazino, who hasn't really missed a beat in this round. Finally, he shows his mortality. But speaking of mortality, a man with surely no more lives to be had eventually will fall. It is Tex to confirm a 13-6 victory from a tight OT loss on their own map choice. That was incredibly clean from MIBR.
Still no clear direction for the attack just yet. Fangir just moments away from stepping into Verno's angle. 40 HP. Could be an easier fight for the defender, and just depends if that one tap could be landed. The jump peak with 40 HP is crazy. and he's left down to 1.
They're pincering though. The flank coming in, and the defenders know this. I like this from Verno. He knew if he sits back and waits, he's going to get pressure from behind. The dart is going to help him out massively. The paranoia nullified, and Verno is having a crazy round once again. And now his teammates are looking to try and wrap in. Kira, though, has given an opportunity, but they're both so desperately low that it ended easy for MIBR. Then there's a chance that you can maybe get the kill with a wallbang. Instead, it's going to be the Hunter's Fury thrown out, almost seemingly off nothing, and that's an early double for Verno. He's been playing incredibly well so far, and one, and then out, and in fact, no, Aspas feeling confident, goes for the repeat, the swing off his contact from Tex, and this trap setup has worked, well, I want to say more than perfectly. That is as good as that could have gone.
And this has been the case. Looking at the last map, you said it, it's an unusual pairing, but Aspas and Tex get so much work done together. Kira, you are dead to rights here. Big stun landed. Round number 5. 2 away from Fangir, having a big old gun to work with, so there's definitely still dangers, and they didn't notice Kira slide right past. Zekin down and out, a rifle into the hands of the attackers. Mazzino, he's got a player behind him. He doesn't have a clue the buy's already passed. It's 2 players striking from behind, and well, now all of a sudden it's a competitive round. Those rifles not recovered just yet. They can be, they could be. If not for the instant rotations coming out of MIBR, the timing here on that main peak could be everything, and Tex has already cleaned house before the swing comes through.
All revealed as well. Looked like that was going to get seriously dangerous, and then Tex.
I'm curious to see how this attack side will shape up. We've had a lot of failures here with the slower plays, and now an attempt to start with a bit of control towards the A site. Late move back in the other direction, but again, MIBR haven't moved. They are sat still. An operator in a position that I don't think they could have ever expected. The angle on the GRQ and a big player removed. Still the Cypher setup to push through as well.
Yeah, they've got the TP to the backside if they need it. There goes Mazzino. That will now be a 3rd player defending this site, and a question of whether or not they want to fall back. No, they're going to try and pressure into what is now a pretty hefty setup. In fact, I think Mazzino even cancelled. He was like, you know what? I'm going to TP, then realized that Aspas has already rotated in and went, I don't need to. Let's hold up the other side of the map just in case. A player tagged up as well. They know exactly where they are, and they've got 20 seconds, Mitch.
Well, I think Mazzino would have committed that TP if not for map number 1, if not for the attempts in map number 2. Like, you see that push, you see it stagger for a moment, you think, okay, but the others are outside my site. I'm going to fake the TP across, they'll push in, we'll clean them up. This time it was a more direct play from all gamers. The problem is, as they decide to save, they're not allowed to. Zekin, one side of the trash compactor as the walls close in, a couple seconds left, and I guess we'll never know if he saved the weapon.
Shrimp, Bangir, and GRQ have weaponry to play with, but can they make something work here?
Oh, GRQ, as you said, just being a little quiet, a little missing. This time picked off from the side, but it is only the ultimate that's taken down. That trade good for the start, but enough to finish. Aspas has opped him through the floor. The convergence path goes through. The spam is fantastic, but hold on. GRQ and Kira, they've got some life left in them. Caught by the ult they might have been, but they fired back at the start. Now it's Kira alone. He was getting some great shots in that first. Look at second, so quick to walk through. Kira could never expect that level of aggression. Sending him scurrying. Look at the push up from Aspas. Aggression cancelled by all gamers for a moment. Now they start to fight inside of B main. Aspas loses his TP back. He's a player pushed out on short to help him. The drone is going to send him flying. Dash out, but now look who's stuck in mid. Mazzino has to stand his ground, has to stand tall, and that he does. A double kill on the Phantom. They were so pigeonholed on trying to deal with Aspas, they forgot that he might have had help.
Even still, that is Mazzino over-delivering.
Yeah, 100%.
You're supposed to keep him alive. Instead, you've taken 2 bodies in response. That's got to be infuriating. As said, this is the best we've seen MLBR look so far this tournament. Sure, they had those blowout games initially, but everybody can have a round, can have a moment. And that's exactly what they're doing now. Aspas, the man who was saved, has dropped the spike into middle. The remaining 2 players are running around like headless chickens. They're having to try and just get that spike back, and instead they are caught from every single angle.
CN, here comes the ult. From GRQ, it's delayed for a moment. Flash lands nothing. Reveal is there, and it's shut down right off rip. Dive through. Bye-bye. No one's with them. And bye-bye indeed, it seems, to all gamers. We need someone to step up to fill these shoes as players drop across the board. Zekin's on 10 HP, and he survived that fight. Shot back for the kill. 9-3, the best scoreline that they can hope and pray for, and even then, the Divine will have to answer for them to have a chance, and perhaps he has. Aspas has made a mistake. He's missed a shot. A rare miss on one side, but then an immediate filling in of the blank shrimp. Tries on the wraparound, but look how confident Zekin is! He's running at them!
Oh!
And maybe he shouldn't be. Fangir, quiet so far, but now a chance against one of the world's best.
And in fact, Aspas was starting to believe that this was a move towards the other side of the map. Instead, now, he's got to go running back towards B.
And there's a TP available for Fangir, but he's not going to take the risk of even placing, and he doesn't know how close Aspas is. Of course, Aspas went to A thinking the spike had maybe been taken. He hadn't seen it for so long. As time ticks away, the info not yet given away. Aspas, he'll break the trap. He'll step forward as Fangir swings in, and Aspas lands the shot!
Look at the scoreboard. 11, 11, 11, 11, 10. Like, there really has just
insane.
not been a missing piece to the MIBR puzzle. And well, Zekin's getting more and more confident. In fact, this is a just sheer rundown. Bai is having to just try and hold on for life, and even an escape route doesn't exist. They are being surrounded, choked out, and they think maybe, okay, is this the open site? Is this the one that nobody's holding? No, it isn't. There's still one, now two, now three and a fourth. Wrapping round, and well, it was Verno to close 11-1.
Yeah,
also,
perfect.
yeah, all of them are one shot to the Outlaw anyway, bar
Let's accept Aspas.
Aspas. Interestingly going for that hero
Fangir?
gun in this round.
He's heard them, right? He's heard them, right? He's heard them, right? Oh my God! What is happening? They were stepping for the last 5 seconds. The man's deaf. He's unplugged his headphones. It's a 5v3. And Aspas has gone by. The dawn of this series looked so bright for all gamers. They pushed MIBR to the limits, but as dawn turns to day, a dark night on the horizon for VCTCN. They are going home, and MIBR push through the playoffs.